Welcome to the KINJAZ Podcast. Here we will discuss dance, life, and whatever the we want.
Folks, welcome back or welcome to KINJAZ Movement in the Shadows. We are your host, Ben.
And I am Anthony.
And we're very excited for today's guest. Well, we're excited always. For...
Announcement for
You're
the
not
new
unlocked
KINJAZ.
yet. You are not unlocked yet. You can't talk. This is the moment where we have to reveal
This is our
you.
intro.
This is our
New
intro.
KINJAZ. New KINJAZ.
I don't even know. I don't even know how to say it back up from there.
Keep going.
I'm just gonna keep going.
As
I'm
if
gonna
you didn't
keep
hear
going.
anything. Just
As
keep
if
going.
we didn't hear anything. Today, folks, we have singer, songwriter, rapper, dancer, fashion designer. He is the founder and CEO of Team Wang Records. I wonder who we have. And Team Wang Design. You may know him from the K-pop group GOT7. He is the founder and 1/4 of Chinese hip-hop group Panda Pack. And in 2021, he was listed in the top 10 on Forbes China Celebrity Top China's. Hold on, let me redo that. In 2020, he's killing me right now. In 2021, he was listed in the top 10 on Forbes China Celebrity 100 list. If you guys can see him, guys, I hope you guys are watching this on YouTube. Today, folks, we have Jackson Wang in the pod.
Hey, bam.
I have not been so shook and distracted by an intro. Jackson, what's up, bro?
You do know there's a bunch of people that don't watch these YouTube videos and are just listening to the awkwardness of you not being in your seat.
But they're gonna watch the YouTube now because
Now
we
they
told
are.
them.
Oh,
to.
they're not. They're just listening to it.
Yeah, some
Well,
people.
some
Oh,
people
right,
just
right,
listen.
right.
Some
Oh,
people watch on YouTube.
But it's okay. You know, you are here in the humble abode of my apartment room. Thank you so much for coming on the pod. Everybody, ladies and gentlemen, we have Jackson Wang, y'all. Bam, 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 bam.
Bow, 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 bow.
New KINJAZ
You
in the
can't-
cave.
You can't start with that info off top,
That-
man. You
that-
gotta-
New KINJAZ in the cave.
This is a public podcast. We're not there yet, you know.
I mean, we can be there. I mean,
All right.
you get to drive where we're at, man.
All right, there it
well, first of all, Jackson, thank you so much for
no,
coming
no,
through,
no,
bro.
my pleasure. I've always wanted to come, and Anthony rejected me for like more than 2 years.
I've been asking you to come on the podcast for a long
Yeah,
time.
you know what he did? That's what he
We're not
does,
going to
you know?
edit this out. 'cause
Yeah,
people
yeah,
need
we're
to
gonna
know.
keep
You know
it
what
in.
he
It's not
does?
even fair. You
This
know
is
when
what
I
he
text
do.
you, sometimes you don't even respond.
No, this is what he do. Hey, lady, you want to?
Next thing you know, your manager hits up
No,
our
no,
manager,
no,
and suddenly
no,
it's like the middleman conversation. Both of our managers are female, so it's middle female. I don't know.
Right, you're every time you're like, yo, you should come to
Man,
the
how come you
podcast.
didn't invite
and then-
Jackson to your birthday? Let's talk
Wow.
about that. Your birthday just passed. I mean,
Wow.
let's talk about that. You know, the homie's in town. He's trying to hang out and celebrate his bro's birthday.
They have limited capacity, and I thought Ben or Jackson.
You know what the funny thing was? I was
Invite,
with Vin.
man.
I was with Vin, and I'm like, we were at the gym. I mean, we were practicing in the
at the studio.
at the studio,
Yeah.
right? And then I'm like, what are you doing today? You know, let's go to the stunt gym and let's do some stunts. And he's like, oh, I would love to, but you know, like, I have to have dinner with Anthony. I'm like, well, what's up? And he's like,
Him and his
then-
wife
I'm not done.
Gabrielle
I'm not done.
initiated
I'm not-
it,
right,
by the
right.
way. Okay,
I'm not
they're
done,
the
bro.
ones who took me out.
I'm not done. I'm not done. And he was like, because it's his birthday tomorrow. I'm like, oh shit, is he throwing a party? Oh yeah, I'm not going because I have to, you know, he has to do something else. But
I can
then-
see how this is a
you
bad
know?
look for me.
Hey,
This
it's
is really
okay.
good for
We
me,
get
though.
it. Everybody gets it.
This
You
is
know,
really
like
good.
Don't-
when it's not a
don't-
true heart friend, you
Okay.
this is what you
Yeah.
do. You know. So it's like, oh, he's throwing a big party. You know, it's like a mini like festival. You know,
Wow, you threw a festival.
yeah,
for your
and
birthday.
you know, and then I'm like, really? And then he's not inviting me to his party.
Yeah.
I mean, but happy birthday, bro. Happy hey, blow the candle.
wow.
Speaking of Blow, one of your new hit singles.
Ah, nice,
Yeah,
nice.
This is gold, bro. Great segue. Great
Look, I'm
segue.
sorry, okay?
No,
I wasn't
no.
used to the idea of you being. Plus, like, dude, usually we like to start our pod with a little bit of an origin story because you're a first time guest on the pod. But the thing is, let's be real. Everybody knows Jackson's.
No,
origin. No? They don't?
No, let me say.
Well, yeah.
Please
give
share
us,
your
give
story.
us
No,
whatever
this is
version
exactly
of
why
it that
you're
you
here.
want. Yeah.
I'm the new KINJAZ,
Shit.
Jackson Wang, and I'm a singer and performer, entertainer, and I just released my latest single is called Blow, and that's it. And I always KINJAZ is like my family that never invites me to their birthday party, and like right, it's like the family, but at the same time, it's like sometimes I get hurt, and yeah, we go all the way back to 6 years ago when I first met you.
Origin right there.
They're here. Now
let's
the actual
take it
that
back.
the podcast has just begun. By the way,
We've begun.
Right.
all right, 6 years ago, 2016.
Right.
Go and walk us through that.
Was it?
Well,
6 years ago.
well, that's the math.
Like there was a show called Hot Blood Dance Crew,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I participated as one of
You
the
were
captains.
a celebrity judge, absolutely.
Yeah, and then I don't know what do you call it?
A
You just,
celebrity
like-
judge. I just said
right.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's where I met Anthony, John, Mike. Was Bam there?
We brought eventually. I had brought out Ving, Pat, Mike. We had Karen assist us for a little bit.
Right.
John Shee was there for a little bit as well, just there with the Sign of Stage fam and all that stuff because I couldn't participate on that thing without
Right.
like their guidance and whatnot. Actually, this is a really, really great story. A lot of fans who understand the relationship and the history between you and KINJAZ and like where we started and stuff like that know that it started with Hot Blood Dance Crew. But one of the tidbits that they may not have known is that the producers of the show at the current time had originally wanted me to come on to work with the other team of celebrity artists. So I, my overly conniving and semi-devilish nature found pockets of time in the dark corners of that TV show. And I remember whispering to the producer and I remember convincing them specifically. And I was like, hey, like you guys brought KINJAZ on to like choreograph. You wanted me here. I feel like you want us here to like exhibit our strengths.
Right.
And if you really think about the pairings of movement and authenticity, I feel like we should probably be with the other team.
Right.
And then we were painting the picture. We're looking at all the audition pieces that everybody's doing with that opening number, and we're looking at the choreographer and the movement styles. And I kept on hinting. I was like, I don't think that's the right one. And I remember finally it was the boss of the entire director of the show and that main producer, and they're
Right.
finally like, yeah, maybe they're right. Maybe KINJAZ should work with Jackson.
Right.
And literally, if we hadn't just been overly conniving,
You know what
and,
the funny thing is?
dark about it, yeah.
You know what the funny thing is?
What?
I would have.
You didn't want us.
No. It's not even about that. Like, right. I'm saying like I wouldn't continued to dance if it wasn't that moment. Like if it wasn't like you guys connecting with me like with the KINJAZ, and it's that, and also Sean from '88. He convinced me to dance. Like, you need performance in your videos. Like, you need to perform. You need to dance your ass off. Like, you need to like put on a show. That's how I got into it. I've never thought about like I learned how to dance, but I feel like I shouldn't go deep in it. I was thinking
That's
about
wild.
You get what I mean?
Wow.
So through that, I felt like I improved a lot. Through the KINJAZ, I learned a lot and absorbed a lot, and that inspired me to continue to be more creative in that direction.
Not at all
right?
fishing for compliments, genuinely just because we're having this kind of conversation and
Right.
debrief for the first time, literally since
Right,
like
right.
2016, talking about the show and stuff. Like
Right.
what you say, like you learned a lot, you were re-inspired to dance. Like what was it from that show or from that experience that you got from it? Or like what was it that you took away that kept you going?
That's like the start, like chapter 1 of the whole journey, till now, until the future, where it's like the way you see stuff. Like even in the choreo, how do you listen to the music, and what should your headspace be when you're listening to a song? How are you gonna express it? And also like in videos, like the angles. How do we like make something think differently? And how do we react to a certain noise? And how there are like different layers in music in a song. Different layers, the instruments, and all these like minor details that I learned a lot.
That's dope.
Yeah. And everything went.
I would call it chapter
Right.
2 though, because I feel like there was a chapter 1. Because even when we showed up and we were meeting for the first time, you were still dropping bombs on us about how you were on the reality like K-pop like talent TV shows and stuff like that, where you were being tested in challenges on a reality show where you had to learn choreography via YouTube. And so you had learned things like Bam's routines or Ving's routines and stuff like that.
Oh,
off of
yeah,
YouTube. What was that?
When I was a trainee.
A trainee. That's
yeah,
what it was.
yeah. I would learn. I think I learned everything was through videos online, like the Bam choreo, and when there was one with like John's choreo, like boom, 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 boom,
Probably get out of
and then the
your mind or something
backflip,
like that.
yeah, like
Classic.
right,
Yeah.
that, and we would just learn it ourselves.
Wow.
Yeah, we mirror
So
it.
you said when you're a
Right.
trainee for, like, explain what that means. Trainee for what?
Oh, trainee is before you make your debut as
Ah,
a singer,
got
and you
it.
train in the company. It's an Asian system, like in K-pop, especially. Companies, you would train inside, and then you'll go through like different tests every week, and this is the thing, like it's no mercy. It's probably like I wouldn't want to do that again, but I would admit it's the best system in the world. Like
Wow.
for you to go through
How
everything.
old were you when you first got into that?
I was 17.
17.
Damn.
Okay.
16, 17.
So you've been in the game for roughly a decade plus?
As a singer, 8 years, 8-9 years.
8-9 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
But trainee, I did like 2.5.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Dude, so I've done some stalking on you, as I do for every guest here.
Thank you.
You have a very very I'm not even talking about your resume, but like the things that I've learned about you as a person. You were like a fencing phenom.
A fencer.
Olympic
fencer.
level, baby.
Olympic level.
National level, baby.
And then you got into music, and then you got into dance, and then you became a design. Like there's a whole like journey that one can only dream of, maybe tackling one aspect of that. How did you?
Why did I do it?
Yeah, like how did you go from fencing to like like and on an Olympic level to be like I want to transition into music, and then you found dance, and then you kind of like approach all these different art forms not as a hobby. You approach it in a way like where you want to sort of master those things.
But
Like where did that come from?
I was a fencer, and then I've always like as a kid, I grew up always liking to, perform for people. Even during fencing, I felt like I was performing it in some way, and I like that. And I like dancing. It was my hobby back. I dance in my shower, like as a hobby, I dance, and I did garage band because I was like, so I had a lot of fun with that.
Garage band's the OG
Right.
truth. Yeah,
Right, and I had a lot of fun with that. I'm like, why can't I just do this, And what the funny thing is, I was in school one day, exam day, and in Hong Kong, and the JYP casting team came to our school to cast, and then they saw me there. It was exam day. After exam, everybody left. I was supposed to leave for training for fencing practice, but I stayed for some reason playing basketball, and they saw me. They're like, "Come here, what's your name? Do you want to be a singer? Do you dance?" And I'm like, and
Wait, they
right.
do that? They just like record labels and agencies just go to like high schools and stuff, and like, cause what you're explaining to me feels like in America, the U.S. Army at like a convention where they're just trying to recruit high school students, and they put a pull-up bar up, and it's like, how many pull-ups can you do? And then it's like, sign up for the Army.
But you're playing basketball. You're not performing. You're not dancing, singing. They're like, this guy playing basketball. Let's see if he.
They're just
Honestly
like, it's like
speaking-
they're recruiting.
No, honestly speaking, I was the only few that was left in the school.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't know it was exam day. They came and they're like, "Oh, like, what's your name? Come here. Let's have a conversation. Do you want to be a singer?" So then to me, I had nothing to lose. I'm like, yeah, of course I want to be a singer right now, and
Yeah,
yeah, right now,
ready
can
to
we do it
record.
tomorrow? Like, and then they're like, do you dance? And I'm like, oh, I don't, but I enjoy dancing. I was like, dance with me right now, and I had nothing to lose. I was just like, with no music, I just went like this, and I bet they were like, okay, this guy has no shame. And this guy has no shame. And he's like, yo, come to the audition this weekend at 3, right? And then I was late that day too, like 30 minutes late. I thought they would be gone, but
30 minutes.
right.
You were more late for this podcast, but
See,
not
I
a big
wasn't
deal.
gonna say anything. I wasn't gonna say anything, but they did send us Starbucks. They sent us hella Starbucks though.
That's
So,
what you always
know.
gift people when you're gonna
Yeah.
be late.
right. I'm sorry.
He
Cheers
started the
to
whole podcast
Yeah,
roasting me
yeah.
with the birthday thing, man. I had to
That
get him
wasn't a
back.
roast. That was just
Okay,
No,
now-
true. That was
I
the
wanted
truth.
Now
you to
we're
get
fair.
The birthday
I was
love,
late today.
you
I'm
know?
sorry.
It's not-
You
No,
didn't.
you're fine, you know?
You didn't
Don't
invite
stress
me to
with
your.
that.
Don't edit that out.
You didn't invite me to your
Don't compare
birthday
that.
party.
Don't compare that.
It's 1-1. It's one. We're fair now.
All right, fine. 1-1.
There you go, Chad.
Jesus, I'm never gonna let.
But
that
as you're
down.
saying, okay, so they came exam day. There wasn't a lot of people, and they asked you to dance, and you were kind of like, yeah, I'm down. So they're like, okay, this guy has a performance quality about himself.
I mean, he has no. In Korean, it's called like not angaryo, not angaryo, right?
What does that mean? Don't explain.
Wait,
What-
but
what-
time
based
out.
on what you heard, what does that mean?
I felt like that means like I have nothing to hide, right?
Not
Like,
angaryo.
가려 means like hide, right? Not an angaryo.
Yeah, I guess so. Like, it's like 내성적이지 않은, like 되게 social, like open. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm getting
Fuck
schooled on
did you
Korean
just
by
say?
somebody who's not Korean. That's what's up. But no, like I love that. Wait, so wait, they came and
Right.
were speaking in Korean, and you understood them, so you already spoke Korean.
Don't
No,
worry
I
about
bet
catching up
that
the rest
was
of the
what
class.
they
Like, it's
thought.
not a
You
big
know,
deal.
like, oh, he has no shame. He's like he won't
Got
be like awkward or he's not worried or scared of the cameras.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Potentially, I bet they.
Which is probably like
right.
90% of the first test. You know what I mean?
mhm.
Like the first recruitment strategy. It's
Right.
like, who's down? You know what I mean?
right.
But more than that, like they guarantee JYP was not like thinking in their minds, we're gonna find our next superstar
Mm-hmm.
on this basketball
Mhm.
court of this high school. Like nobody fucking would have thought that. You know what I mean?
They,
But that's what Jackson
they
gave
went
them.
through. I bet they went through like all schools. I mean, majority of the school. Yeah.
That's just such a wild cultural difference from anything that we experience. That's so cool though.
So then the next step was what? There's an audition.
Audition, and I don't know why. Like, I somehow, luckily, I passed, and I didn't know if I passed or not. They said, go home and wait. We'll let you know if you pass.
I like them.
You get me? I'm like, okay, cool. And every single day, I'm hitting that refresh button in my email. Every single day, I wake up, oh, nothing. Every day.
That means you cared about it.
Right, I cared
Yeah.
for 3 months.
But how does that work for like parents, for example? Is it like so accepted like socially where
But yeah, I understand.
but you know what I mean? It's like let's
Right.
say okay, so 3 months passes, they're like, "Oh, you got it." And then your parents are like, "Oh yeah, don't worry about college."
No, I mean, I didn't tell them until after the audition that night. I told them, hey, you know what? I auditioned today, blah, 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 blah. And then my, parents, like, they're like, oh, don't trust entertainment. It's the dark side. They put you in a cave, like, steal all your money. Like the blah 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 blah
Yeah,
blah blah.
yeah.
It's right. It's sketchy. It's this. It's that. Yeah, and I was waiting. Honestly, that 2 weeks of waiting was like nightmare. And then honestly, after the 3rd week, I gave up. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I, just carry on and fence. Prep for the Olympics, go to college, and get a job.
Yeah.
And or be an athlete. And
Get a job or be an athlete. That's most of our options, but yeah, continue.
미안합니다. 对不起.
I love it. We are multilingual here, bro. Yeah, no, I love it.
No, it was. And then after 3 months, I think 3 months. All of a sudden that day, so I'm like regularly checking my email, although I gave up. right? And then one day, boom, JYP. And then I open it. I'm like, no way. Are they telling me? I don't know yet. It says JYP. What if they said, don't wait, like you failed? You know, what if they say that? And I opened it, and they're like, you passed the test, and we want you to come to Korea now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what?
That's fucking crazy.
like
Right.
there's that next step is probably the most exciting one.
Right,
Like,
Nick-
how do
And
you
then
Right.
the
respond?
rest is history. And then now
No.
he's in
And
my,
here we go.
my apartment. You know,
Yeah.
KINJAZ podcast. You know, the biggest
No,
stage
no.
of his life.
And then my parents, of course, they didn't take it seriously, and then they're like telling me all these stuff like, yo, you're in a place that a lot of people would dream of. Why would you want to start zero again and take that risk?
With like your fencing and everything that
Yeah,
you had
yeah, yeah.
built in Hong
Right.
Kong. Mhm.
Right. And then but at last, they're supportive, but they told me to finish my last competition, like tournament, Asian Cup, like an Asian championship, finish that and leave. And then my dad was like, I don't know if he's really joking or not. He's like, if you win the tournament, you can go. So in some way, he's just saying no.
Yeah.
You get me? So
Yeah.
So did you win?
yeah, I did. But without thinking about the JYP thing at
Yeah.
all.
The nonchalance of that is so sexy. You just, Jesus.
That
Tobichu.
So I mean, I'm imagining you follow your father's footsteps in fencing. He was the one who was kind of encouraging you.
He was a fencer too,
Yeah.
and my mom was a world champ gymnast.
Wow. Okay, so you come from a family of
Athletes.
Okay, performers, athletes. Okay.
Yeah.
And so you take this leap, you win the fencing competition, and then
And
you
then
go to
and then
Korea.
I went and then they're like, my dad's so proud and telling all his like friends and my son, blah, so happy. And then all of a sudden I said, but Dad, hey, didn't you promise me, I can go to Korea and start my training thing? You promised that. And then I think that night he cried for the first time. Like, this is probably the first time I see him cry.
Oh my
Because
gosh.
he was proud, happy, sad, like
Conflicted, huh?
You get me? He's like, he's fighting against himself, like
Conflicted,
he's
there
like,
it is.
right.
Mm-hmm,
He's like, oh shit, should I, like, yes, that's what I said, but at the same time, he's prepping for Olympic. Like, as a father, I need to, keep my words and keep my promise.
It feels like the gravity of the scales are really intense. It's like there's this like very clear potential direction and goal.
Yeah.
Olympic level fencer for his son, or just go to another country and figure it out in this like kind of black hole of an industry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That must be heavy.
And then I went. I'm like,
Obviously.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And smashed it. I love it.
So I'm always curious, especially when I find people who are not Korean who break into the K-pop industry. I'm like, how does one...
JYP did all the work.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, I'm like one of the foreign member in a team.
So they put you in, like they formulated the group. Like, hey, you guys gonna be in a group.
The training system. So long story short, it's like it breaks into like 3 categories. I mean, every company is different, but in JYP it was like the normal trainee called 연습생, and then there's like another level called like 교육생. It means like 교육생, 教育, like another upgrade. Okay, level 2.
Yeah, level
and then
2.
the level 3 is like project team. Right, and
Like
every
ready
week
to go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
every week you get tested. Like you have like a mission, right? Your vocals, your dance, for actors, or then their acting skills. For yeah. And,
Is this when
yeah.
you started learning Korean?
Yeah, even I even had Korean test.
Yeah.
God.
Were you always like a good student in growing up as a kid? Studious? No.
No,
So how can you all of a sudden go from just being like,
I can answer that. This is the hardest worker in the room. It has
I
nothing to
believe
do with what the subject or the work actually is. If you have the hardest worker in the room or the work ethic, it doesn't matter what the challenge or the obstacle is, that person will get through it. I've never been in a room with any other human being out of everybody I've ever worked with that works harder than Jackson.
Thank you. Thank you for this compliment.
I'm only gonna say that one time. Everything else from this moment on is gonna be some sort of backhanded slap or diss.
But it's only recorded.
I really
now, so
like that
But
compliment.
it was important that I shared that one time, and
yeah.
now that I've shared it, we are forcefully gonna welcome everybody to our current ad break.
No, wait. What's the brand?
It's a
Tell
break,
me right
dude. It's
now.
a break. You can't talk anymore, dude. Can you just take a break for 1 second? This is an official break.
Hey, whatever that was, it was a great product. It was whatever, yo.
I'm hoping that was
So glad we all heard that commercial.
Kinja Bang
Right,
noodles, right?
amazing. Like what?
I'm
Like-
I'm hoping it was kinesthetic.
Kinesthetic,
the most direct thing that
dojo,
could potentially
app, yeah.
potentially benefit
And the
our lives.
creatives, man. Like,
Oh my-
damn.
wonderful job.
Very
out there.
well directed.
Yeah.
Very well. Yeah.
This is freaking funny.
So what,
Anyway.
what did you want to talk about?
Yeah, what
No,
are
let's
we-
talk
what
about
are
that
we talking
commercial.
about?
Let's talk about that ad.
Wow. We're just hanging out, guys. We are hanging out. Yeah, we're cheersing.
Yeah, I really like your shirt. What,
Thank you. Yeah.
What is
it's
that?
just a random Korean girl
Called
with
Team Wang?
tattoos. It's called Team Wang. You
Oh,
know?
you know how it's funny? Like, I'm wearing the Kinja merch.
Did you guys plan that? Like,
No,
I feel
no,
like
no,
that was
no.
on some like kindred connection.
I think
No.
it's just mutual respect.
Yeah. I love that.
Mutual because we're even now, 1-1.
So it's called Joseon.
Chosun.
Oh,
Chosun.
like back.
Yeah, the ancient Korean.
But who
ancient Korean
is-
culture. I don't know. I need to
who is
find out
she?
who this chick is.
If we could focus though, the last ad that just played was a kinesthetic ad, probably.
Yeah, we're not here for
like,
this.
we could focus on, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but is she aware that she's there?
I don't know.
Is she
You
aware?
might,
kinda
you might
hot.
get me in trouble now. It might be like some trademark.
Can we, like,
thing,
can
that,
we block,
likeness
like,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll blur this
Blur
out.
this
You
out,
know,
right.
just blur that out. Anyway, back to the conversation here.
Back to the history of Jackson and the KINJAZ. Everybody who's probably listening right now obviously is hopefully a fan of KINJAZ. I don't know. But there's a lot of people who hit me up the DMs, the comments, the tweets, the social media, the whatever the freak. Like, yo, we got to bring Jackson on the podcast. Little do they know.
And that was on me, actually.
It was 100%.
It's
you
all
and the
me in
bots?
different
That was
accounts.
Jackson the bots.
You know,
okay,
I was
so
telling Chad offline
falsified information. This
before we
works.
recorded. Jonesy, who we all love.
Yeah,
who's a big
she
supporter.
messaged. I know she messaged.
Yesterday, she was like, I'm just putting it out there. Jackson Wang on the KINJAZ podcast. And I was like, what the? Like, what? Did you guys talk to her? So, Jones, shout out Jonesy. If you're listening.
She's one
we love
of
you.
our biggest supporters of all time. She's a huge Jackson fan as well.
Really? No way.
Huge fan. You have no idea. And then she knows you're to the point where she knows you're in town, so she's like putting this out in the universe, and she's been supporting us at the highest levels, like literally, like to the point where it's so dope to even mention her. She's worth it.
Thank you.
Love her. And she's like manifesting this right now. Jackson going on the KINJAZ podcast. And little did she know that I had just asked you. But little does she also know that when I ask Jackson to come on the KINJAZ podcast, he doesn't respond. He has to talk to his manager, who talks to his agent, who talks to our manager, and then suddenly there's something happens. Okay, so it takes like 16 hours to figure out one question. Not a big deal. Anyways, can we focus?
Okay, let me make my point right here. I'm like, artist or not, none of that. Like, I'm open. Like, I don't have like management coming in. Yes, they would, but it's not like barriers. Oh, it's difficult to talk to. No, I'm not. Like, Lil,
Jokum.
Itiendian?
Contilang?
Choco.
No? Contilang?
No.
I'm
definitely
kidding.
not.
The last thing I said before our amazing commercial break was Jackson's hardest worker in the room, and
You
he's
did
also
You did say that.
the most down to earth artist I've ever gotten a chance to work with. Period. This is a regular homie. Stop. Just.
It's the Asian, thing.
But let's get back. Let's get back into the chronology and the story of your
Where were
relationship
we?
with KINJAZ, because that's what I was getting at. Most of the people that are here are maybe curious or wondering like how that relationship developed, what we've done, what some of your favorite moments are. When was the time you were most pissed off at me? There's a bunch of different things that maybe people are interested in. If we could dive into that era of the relationship, pre-Jackson becoming KINJAZ. We're not there yet. What's one of the favorite things that we have gotten a chance to work with together. We've done
A
things
lot, a lot. So this is the thing. Like to me, like work, you know, doing something before we do something, like anybody, before I do something with anybody, it's always like friendship always comes first. You know, we got to be friends, you know, we got to have that connection, that bond. And then I feel like that, and then we're in this comfortable environment to create together, to mix.
This
Right,
is true.
right. So it's like, I really don't like that two person or a lot of people just put together, like it's forced. It feels forced, you know? Like I'm not like, I don't feel it. I need that connection before I can create.
And I can attest to that. Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
In the very, very, very beginning, before we had built that bond,
Right.
it was you weren't the easiest person to work with.
Okay, let's go to the next ad. Let's go to the next ad.
Yo, what is going on? Man? I wasn't there. I wasn't in the room when this thing happened. Let's talk about that.
No. I swear to God, there's a happy ending. I wouldn't say that. Just talk shit. Maybe I would. I don't know. Maybe I wasn't the easiest to work with. Point is, Jackson was one of the first artists that I'd ever worked with that was so detail oriented to every facet of the entire production of the final product. Oftentimes, celebrity artists, whether it be a music video, a dance TV show performance, a live performance TV spot, whatever it is oftentimes, especially in their relationship with the humble role of choreographer, it's directly only associated with things like the moves, period, the dance moves. But because one, I think we organically and authentically just kind of hit it off, both on personality and ambition, and just like regular, just like vibes of what we wanted to both accomplish, like just destroy everybody, murder them, absolute massacre, like the literally scraping the floor with their bodies of blood, like literally very, very intense shit. That's why I really like Jackson. But the thing is, it didn't stop the rehearsal room. He would it was like having a backseat driver, an over the shoulder shadow in every compartment. So at first it was a little bit intimidating, a little like, I'm like, oh shit, this guy's really about it compared to everybody else I've ever worked with. But lighting, video and effects production, costume and wardrobe department, obviously the dance and the choreography and rehearsal room, to every nuance that a very, very detailed creative director should be a part of. Jackson was not just in the room leading the conversation. And once you get used to it, once you understand, one, his direction, ambition, and ability, and then two, you're a believer in his creative flow and hustle. Hustle is a very strong word, and I love that. Jackson is a fucking best guy to work with in the entire game, in every department. I don't care if it's a music video with in the music industry. I don't care if it's a TV show or a movie and an acting role. Work ethic and the type of attention to detail and obsessive nature of every facet, he is by himself in that category amongst everybody I've ever gotten a chance to be.
Thank you. That's really probably the best compliment.
I was about to say, well, damn, that, like, how do you feel about that?
I feel like
I've said it before. I've said it before.
Right. Like, I feel so blessed and happy, but that's not gonna change how I felt about him not inviting me to that party.
I just started with the good stuff because I want to talk about the things I hate about you.
It's not gonna change one bit.
I just wanted to soften the blow. So if we could talk about the things that piss me off.
Jeez, where are we right now, guys?
Oh, hey, can I talk about that like real quick?
Talk about whatever you want, bro.
Honestly, like for my music video and stuff, I feel like it's like a pizza where there's so many different elements putting together, and that's like a body of work. You know, like that's like the final product. That makes the best final product, where every element has to be in the same channel, has to be on the same page. So like, and I went through this because, first of all, I got so involved. It was because I really want that exact picture that was in my head to be executed, to come to life. and you have all these like different divisions where a director, right, and the camera crew, art team, like too many different divisions, stylist, you know, a makeup artist, right? Too many different divisions. They have to understand what's in my head, you know? And it's really hard to communicate because everyone's like different personality, different standard of happiness and different vision. You know, it's really hard. That's why I had to be so specific in order to them to like basically feed everybody. You get me?
But that's why I
Right.
think you have a superpower in that, because there's a lot of different like artists that I've gotten a chance to work with, or different people that let those departments lead their departments, which makes sense in one way. But when it's not cohesive, you know what I mean? When there's not a clear thread that brings every department into some sort of unified pattern, you might not, as a regular audience or a fan, you might not see it, but you feel it. And I think that's one of the biggest things that Jackson, that you've been able to do, because you get so involved in every single space that ends up making it so that the thread of Jackson is a part of every department. And I know that's why the fans feel that. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm curious about? You know, you talked about your sort of athlete vision, right, for yourself. Like, I want to be a supreme athlete. Not to say that athletes aren't artists, because I think they are. But
Definitely.
in the way that an athlete would transition into an artist, quote unquote artist, way of thinking, because I see the way that you guys are talking, like there is a visionary side of you there. Like, I can see this thing 360 holistically. I need my wardrobe to be this. I need my lighting to be this. I need my movement to be this. I want my sound to be this. I don't see a one-to-one, like, oh yeah, easily an athlete can easily be that person. Like, what was that transition, or how were you always a sort of like, I can see everything from all angles and I want everything to be very specifically in this? Because when I think athlete, it's just like top-notch elite performer in this one physical aspect, but then you're thinking like on a mental, you're thinking on an emotional, you're seeing on a visual, like there's, and a sonically, you know what I mean? There's as a musician, I look at that as like, well, there's so many ways to approach, but I'm like, I don't think an athlete necessarily is one-to-one with that. So I guess my question is,
But I get what you mean.
how were you able to be like, I'm like one track minded in this way, to be like, I can now see everything in this way?
I think to me, it's the same. As an athlete, as an artist, as you know, like I could be a photographer tomorrow. You get me, in the future.
Yeah.
Like it's the same mentality. It's just different skill set. You know.
That's what I'm
And,
talking about.
you know,
It's a work ethic,
work
the
ethic.
ambition.
I feel like if you're gonna do it, then do it properly, right? And why waste time doing it? Why don't I just go to like the beach house and just chill there every day, right? Like,
Can't relate, but yes, keep
can be
going.
like then another ad, please add that on. It's so awkward. It was so awkward. Sorry.
Okay,
I'm
we can
sorry.
keep going.
Sorry, all the
A
viewers.
lot of people must go to beach houses all the time.
You know, because that's like my relax mode. I really
love
like
the
that's
beach.
like my dream,
Yeah.
right? And I feel like if you're gonna do it properly. And one thing that I noticed, honestly, like me getting involved and be hands on all these stuff, I didn't want to do it. Is because everyone is the art. Let's say in a shoot, every division only cares about their division.
Mm-hmm.
And if this whole product is my product, you know, is my output. Do you think, well, everyone cares, but not as much as me? Is my son, you know, is my daughter, it's it's me,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So no one's gonna care about you more than how much you care about yourself, you know? So, and that's why, like, I didn't want to do it, but it's because there's no one to put together, and I had no help, honestly, when I first started. Yeah. Let's say I'll give you a very genuine like example. I wanted this shoot, but you know, directors too. There are a lot of like artistic and like fabulous directors out there, but there are also like different categories of director. There's like commercial directors, which has no idea on how to shoot musical style music videos, right? There's like this director that shoots documentary, but it's not, they don't probably not know how to shoot dancing choreo. So, you know, like the brief and the prep is a nightmare.
Mhm.
So there was like from that point, I was like, you know what? I'll just do it myself. I'll learn everything. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, so I what I'm getting
Right.
from you is like once you lock into something that you've committed yourself to, you are the A student. You are the one who does the most homework to figure out all the ins and outs of what does it take to create the best version of that thing, whether that be a sport, whether that be an art form. And so what I'm very sort of curious about too now, I mean, you have an album coming out, and I know that was a very personal project for yourself in the way that you've expressed yourself. And we can get into that in a minute, but I guess
Is it the time? Yeah.
it can be. It can
Another
be.
one?
No, it's the time
Oh.
of the next commercial ad.
For real?
Is
It
it?
is?
Oh,
my-
hey, cheers, dude. Next commercial
Hey,
ad.
what?
Cheers.
Wait, we have like 10 seconds left.
Yeah, 10 seconds. Go ahead.
Whatever it is, I'm sure it'll be amazing.
Hey, buy it
you know,
now.
buy it like now.
A lot of it.
The site is.
I don't think they visually are.
Oh, no,
It's a podcast, so yeah,
All right,
yeah,
right,
they might be hearing it.
Yeah.
So, okay, so let's get to the nitty gritty. Let's get to the real shit that people want to hear. When I say people, I mean us.
Why
We're
did
the only
you?
one that's here. We're the only ones that's listening right now.
Why do you want to join KINJAZ? Huh?
No, it's
Why
just
don't you join, like,
it's a
Quest Crew or
saying.
something?
It's a saying.
For your
It's a
audience.
saying. Come on,
Shout out
like, it's
Quest
a
and for your
saying,
audience. We
man.
love you
Like
guys.
it's like, it's appreciation of how much I respect the family. You know, it's a saying, man.
That's that. I wanted to give dramatic pauses for the social
That was
media
great.
clip because I feel free to say it again. I don't know if we got the soundbite. I don't know if Chad was recording. Say it one more time, but a little bit more intonation.
It's appreciation, and
Throw KINJAZ in the sentence somehow.
it's a appreciation and respect to the KINJAZ family.
I love you, man.
You know,
Everything about you. I love you so much.
because KINJAZ to me, it's like, it's more than work. You know, like more than work business. It's fam, like real fam.
That's the end of the podcast.
That's why,
Thank you guys
like-
so much for joining us this season.
And scene.
That's the end of it. No more. The camera's off. Camera's officially off. Let's start speaking the truth, Jackson.
That's truth. No, honestly,
Worst choreographer
one of my
you worked
dream
with
in
in
the
your entire
future.
history.
I've been talking about this for life. Like one of my like bucket lists in the near future. Like I don't know how long it's gonna take, but is open up a new complex like with KINJAZ.
You know.
Now
you
you're
know how
eating
much-
into my lightning round questions.
No,
I was
for real
about to
though,
ask
for real
that.
though.
Okay, first of
I've
all,
been
okay.
telling him, look.
No, let's talk about this. No, let's talk about this seriously. Let's talk about this so the fans know what's up. All right, go ahead and feel free. Tell the origins. Go ahead and tell because you're tapping into something that I'm extremely
Kiki.
What?
Coco?
Coco.
No,
Kiki Ren. Yeah, technically
Oh.
Chinese.
Oh,
Kiki.
Coco, no.
Coco. Yeah.
And Eli.
Yeah, Coco.
Right. Like I was thinking.
Shout out Sign on Stage.
Shout out
Yes,
Sign on Stage.
We love
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, can I have more shirts? By the way,
That's
they always
the
give
first
me
thing
like
he's gonna
3.
say?
Yeah.
They
All
have
right.
great shirts.
Point is, we've been speaking literally, and I want people. I don't even know if I want people to know because I'm afraid. The second we let people know is the second we have to hold to our ambitions, right? It's been 3 years now. Do you realize that? Count the years. It's been 3 years we've been talking about our collaborative KINJAZ x Sinostage x Team Wang
Records.
records.
Right, yeah.
I was gonna say studio, but records just took it to a whole new level. Yes.
Right.
Look out, industry. KINJAZ Sinostage Team Wang records coming at you. That's a mouthful. That's a lot. I don't
All
think
the
that's gonna be
industries,
successful.
every industry out
Point
there,
is,
look out.
We've been talking about it for a long time because of honing into the authentic relationship that Jackson has with dance. You are a fucking phenomenal mover.
Yes,
you
you
are.
are a
Yes,
huge,
you are.
and strong, and powerful dancer.
Honestly, like I'm not trying to be because the camera or whatever. Like KINJAZ sharpened me to who I am today.
Wait, if you're gonna put KINJAZ on blast, then let's keep it real. You're not the cleanest dancer.
No, of course,
Yeah,
of course,
for sure.
and I like that from
your
you.
ISOs,
You know why?
gotta
Because you guys
figure
are
it
real
out.
to me. You guys are honest, and I need that.
But what do we say?
What do you say, man? You say, dude.
What do you
Put you on blast now. What are you saying, bro?
I don't remember. Look,
What you saying, dude?
We can't talk about all this,
Right.
Jackson Wang choreography and KINJAZ stuff that without also mentioning our brother Ving. Ving
Yeah, hell
Shout
yeah.
out, Bing.
Everybody.
More, yeah.
I didn't get a
Ving,
chance to
Bam,
meet, like,
Mike, Pat,
Keone,
me,
though.
yeah, everybody. Like we've
Yeah.
all gotten a chance to contribute and be a part of like a humble part of your journey, which has been a phenomenal and an amazing one. Stop shaking your head. But the point is, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even know what is the point except the fact that I'm going to continue like talking about how amazing you are. But your rawness and your intensity and your stage performance and your power that you bring to the stage, your charisma, your genuine stage presence is more powerful than 99% of the people we work with. So when it comes to the work ethic in the dance room, putting in the work, putting in the hours, putting in the time, putting in the cleanliness, reviewing the moves and stuff like that, you can review and clean and practice moves all day. You can bring that technique to the stage. But if you don't have the essence and the aura and the power and charisma, it won't translate. Your power and charisma is by far like 10x so many different people that may be conceptually, and I'm not giving a realistic example, I'm just saying conceptually can do dance moves quote unquote cleaner. It doesn't matter how clean you do a move, it matters how it makes people feel. And that's what you bring to the table. You bring like a real feeling. And I think and I'm gonna transition whether it's smooth or not into a new album of yours that's coming out later this year. I know you didn't really want to talk about it, but it is what it is.
It's Magic Man. It's gonna be like before October, I guess. And check it out, guys.
And this is amazing. I want to talk about it because I know you didn't want to talk about it. That's why I want to talk about it. I want to talk about it because obviously I've been very akin to your music for a very long time. Go ahead and say what you want to say. What do you want to say?
I honestly, to me, like personally, I don't like. I'm not here to PR my.
This is me
album,
interrupting.
We
you
know that.
immediately.
We know
I'm
that
here-
we're getting
This
that from
this
you
me
for
giving
sure.
this is me giving our genuine audience like the
I'm
real
here.
scoop, and at the same time, me personally as a conversationalist in this pod, resonating with something that I've had in a deep time in my relational history with you. I've listened to your music for years, even when you were in like the more rap phase of Jackson, which I thought was cool. You have a cool voice. You have a strong, raspy. I'm overly critical right now. Point is, this newest album that's coming out later this year is by and far the best album that you put out. In my personal totally subjective artistic opinion, because I feel like it's the most righteous with your natural soul. The sound. It's not more as hip hop as your last ones are. It's almost like a blend of both hip hop and rock, and I feel like rock is such a righteous space for you.
Like,
It might
right.
sound weird, but it's such a righteous space for your voice and your energy. Matching that with the kind of the bang of like hip hop and pop flavor. This next album is a fucking hit. Anybody who's a Jackson fan is not even ready for how sick this next phase of music for you is, and I just can't wait for everybody to dive into it because I think that this is the most mature and authentic version of Jackson Wang music I've heard in my entire history of knowing you.
Just to toss in there too,
And I don't even like you, by the way.
You were, as you were sampling your album for us upstairs before we started rolling, with the rock meets sort of the hip hop, but there was a soulfulness that was very much like, yo, this is like a soulful you and representation of you. And yeah, I saw that you talked to Entertainment Tonight, not too long ago, talking about how this was something that you felt like was a liberation of yourself and a time where you were able to sort of like, I'm gonna just be me in the rawest form. I've been through a lot of stuff over the past, you said 8 years or so, and there was a lot where you referenced things like your sort of mental, emotional health, and you wanted to sort of prioritize that, and you're just wanting to speak who you are as an artist and just wanting to just be open with it. And so I think I just feel there's so much power in this new album.
And we got to unpack it. You
yeah,
know, like,
and I get it from you, and I'm what I'm seeing from you is like, yeah, you don't want to talk about, yeah, okay, I got an album coming out, and it's not about me.
Yeah.
You want to just kind of hang out, which is dope. But I'm thinking like, yo, I just learned something about you that I want to know about. Like, what's
and I love this
that
music.
all about?
Yeah, what's
you know?
the inspiration? Where did it come from? What made this album what it is? Because I fucking love it.
Fuck, man. Is the first, like, honestly, it's not just about the music. It's not just about the lyrics. It's everything as a package. These 10 songs, the visuals, it's more about the tone and attitude of me. And every time when I release stuff for anything, like it could be a choreo, anything that I release, I'm always like learning, you know? Like you see them, I don't know if you can feel it, like how I evolved from like 4 years ago, you know, and my music, you know, and every time when I release stuff, I learn more. Oh, there's something like more windows opens, you know, more, I see something else of myself.
If you could, from your last album to this album, this current one that you're working on, you're about to release, and if you could put into words, what is the change? What is the evolution? What is the energy?
So many things. The way I think about stuff. For example, back then I would think that there's so many worries. Like, oh, but should I do this because it's more commercial, or should I do this? Oh, but there's this crowd over there. But what should I do for this PR? Like that barrier and that filters a lot of the stuff that I really want to do, you know. And now for this album, it's just like I don't care anymore, you know. Let's just be me one time. If this fails, you know, and I would know, and I'll respect that. I'll know. I'll learn more. But at least let me try one time. You know.
Can I ask, was there something that kind of inspired you to take that sort of leap of faith and to be like, let me just try one time? Like, I feel like as artists, you know, whether that be dance, what have you, music, you know, when you've been in an industry or you've been in a lane for a certain amount of time, you know, I think every artist has their moment where they're like, do I still have it? Should I still be here? And, you know, those insecurities start to creep in, and maybe I'm speaking for myself here, but I'm curious for yourself, you know, you having been in the game for a long time, you know, like decade plus now, right? You know, being in the music industry, and then as a dancer, as an artist, in every sort of way. We haven't even tapped into the fashion stuff, but out of curiosity, was there some sort of thing that kind of like tipped you over the edge? You're like, you know what, let me try something else for myself this time, versus trying to sort of like, not to say that you were doing it to please a certain crowd or anything like that, but what was the thing that made you feel like you wanted to do something for you?
I have been doing stuff for myself, but I had a lot of worries. Now is every time it's more me. Every time it's just like more me. I'm evolving. And I won't say this is like the ultimate form, but I think what inspired me was for the last year and a half, I was in my lows. Like I had a really negative mindset, and I was alone, and everything, you know, my schedules after schedules felt like it's a loop, and I was lost. I wasn't inspired. I didn't know what to do, honestly, and I couldn't breathe on it. I was suffocating like from time to time, and you know, like I would call myself like I'm a workaholic, and whenever I'm stressed, I would not talk to people, because I feel like the reason why I'm stressed is because, you know, there are problems. Then I'll just solve it. I'm not going to talk to anybody else, communicate with anybody else, because what are you going to do with it, you know? So I tend to want to do everything by myself. And I think because of that, I went deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And I got so negative. And it was with Isaac, like my producer.
Shout out Isaac.
One of my one of very talented producer that I work with. And he was in a session one day. He's like, we were cutting songs and I didn't want to waste time. I want to be efficient when I'm in the studio. Chop chop, it's done. You know, but then I couldn't perform. Like I was like freaking out. And then he's like, yo, sit down. Like, you know what? We're not going to do this today. You know, but you know, Isaac is like a nice guy, but he intended to, you know what? Shut up. And we're stopping today. Turned everything off. And then he had a conversation with me, like, speak to me, like, what's up? And I'm like, no, let's not waste time. Let's just cut this song and maybe I need to recut it tomorrow to get it better. I just have to be better and better, you know? And he sat me down and we had a conversation. And honestly, that moment, it felt very magical to me. Like I never thought, you know, words really mean shit. It means a lot, like so powerful that it hit me so deep, you know, that conversation. And yeah, and I started to, you know what, maybe I should communicate with people. And I realized, you know, how important it is to have positive people around you. You know, I realized. And then I think I came to LA. At that time, we didn't even have the name for the album. At that time, like nothing yet. Was it LA? Yeah, I think, yeah. It was before Blow. It's before Blow. And then I met up with stylists and directors. They told me the same thing. You know, they're like, you never know what happens tomorrow. You know, so like, be you and focus on you. Stop thinking too much. And all these things mean so much to me. But whereas before, for majority of my life, I never wanted to, like, I'm a social guy, but I never really want to talk, be going to people when I'm having a bad time or when in my lows, because I feel like I'm putting pressure on them, whoever that I'm reaching out to. Do you get where I'm coming from?
100%.
Right. It's like, it's my deal. It's like my problems. Everybody has problems, like their own problem. Why would I want to bring my problem onto you and make you miserable? You get me? But I didn't know, like, it's okay to tell people that you're not okay, you know?
So that they can relate
Right.
to you.
Yeah.
So that they can feel okay having their own problems, because they realize that some of the people that they look up to also have similar problems.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I mean,
Oh, was it too deep? Sorry, man.
no, Jackson.
it's
right.
Like, you know what? I'm just thinking about just how this conversation is going from, you know, how it started. Yeah, we're having a great time, man, and going deep is a part of the great time. I don't think it needs to, you know, I think what we've learned, you know, even doing this podcast, we go into every conversation with like no expectation. Yeah, we might have some questions. We might be like, oh yeah, let's maybe hit on this and that, and you know, and we, you know, even before you got here, just, you know, just in all transparency, oh yeah, man, he has a new album coming out. Let's talk about that, and, you know, talk about whatever with KINJAZ. But like, really, what these are for are what you want to talk about, what you really care about. And, you know, yeah, I love everything coming from, you know, your passion for dance and all of that. And I know that's all real, all authentic. And then, you know, even listening to this little snippet that you just dropped on us, you know, like, oh, sorry, did I go too deep? Like, no, like straight up, this is what we're doing here. You know what I'm saying? Having real conversations, having fun, having some drinks, and you know, whoever gets to listen in. And what I love about these things is every episode, someone out there has something that they connected with, you know, and I think it's the authentic roller coaster ride of a conversation that I think that that translates to the people that are out there. And so even from, you know, this, you know, your album to that session to you feeling like, yo, let's just like, no, this is not efficient. Let's get to work. You know, dude, we're all human, man. You know, we only have so much gas in our tank before we have to refill it. And some people have a bigger tank, you know, some people have a bigger capacity to just go, even run on fumes and act as if you have a full tank.
Jackson's tank is big.
I
AF,
see
dude.
that.
It's big, dude.
You got a
It's
huge
deep.
tank, my guy.
You got a huge tank, bro. Your tank is like biggest tank I've ever seen, dude.
Hey, I have a big tank, guys.
That's the clip right there. You know, but like
No, but honestly, I feel like a lot of stuff that I felt in this process, you know, like the whole. Wait, how much time do we have?
as much as you want, bro. You
Oh,
got a rehearsal.
Technically,
No, I'm saying
chat
like,
gave me the sign
you know
that
what?
this
Like,
is a big neck.
something is uncomfortable. Is
What?
the ads, man? Like, it feels like I'm in a countdown to death.
Oh, hey,
Again.
perfect time for an ad. Cheers.
Oh, right, man. Whatever that was, whatever that will be shown. Every time for us, we don't need to take a break.
No,
No,
we
we
don't
don't.
need to
But
take a break.
Anthony always takes a break.
He has to pee.
That's like killing the flow, man. It's like, you know, in the middle of the choreo, you just go backstage. Like, what happened, man?
Jackson, you remember that one rehearsal? Remember that one rehearsal where I was like, "Hey, Jackson, we got to be on time, right? You know, it's a big competition." And then like 3 hours later, you showed up.
Who? Me?
What?
Me?
Let's focus on the real topics here.
Me?
Oh, yeah.
No, just,
Button this up right there.
No, let's bring it back. We only got a little bit of time on this podcast left, and there's one, there's a couple generic questions or realms of themes that we want to go into, and some of that is a struggle. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people oftentimes see the glory, and the success of your career path. Tell us some of the struggles. What has been
Okay,
one of the most difficult things as of late for you to have to handle during your journey?
the way I look at it is, I think all the fame and popularity is bubbles to me. It can be gone tomorrow. It can be gone like the next minute. You get what I mean? What I need to do, like, it's always in my headspace that I just need to get better. I need to earn that, like, to make the bubble solid. And the only way to do it is because, you know, all the people supporting me, you know, like showing love to me. I feel sorry for like all these time. You know, even now I feel sorry because I'm not good enough where, you know, back when I look back 4 years ago, there are a lot of stuff that I did was whack. You know, I know, like, honestly, I know.
Like what?
You know, but you get what I mean? Like when I look at it,
As an artist, I totally understand what you mean. But as an artist, I'm kind of like what?
but you know, when it was whack, but they were showing love and support me since day one, I feel so sorry, you know? And I feel like I need to make everyone that supports me, my family, my crew, you know, fans, I need to make them proud, you know? And that's just all in my head, you know? So a lot of time I'm so sorry. Like,
that is in your head.
You know?
I don't think there's something you need to apologize for. I think your fans love you for a particular reason. I think your fans are very devoted. I think we're your fans. I think we're among them. Like I said, I think we're even me personally, I'm like way more a fan of like an amazing work ethic and attitude and energy over just like the sound of your song. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna be real too. There's a bunch of songs for people out there I've never met in my life, and I'm like, I love it. I love this sound. And there's people out there that I've met, and I'm like, this song is okay, but I love this person. With you, the songs are okay, and I love you. You know what I mean? So it's one of those.
definitely.
Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
No, even you know,
I'm kidding, dude.
No, even the
point,
fact that
the point is what I'm saying is you don't have to like you are especially your relationship with your fans. You've been somebody who has taught me and therefore has resonated to the rest of KINJAZ as well on like our relationships with the people who support us. Fans, I think, is a funny arbitrary word, but the people who support us, that's beyond some sort of terminology and phonetic recognition, right? Like
a lot of times I feel, you know, going to interviews or even be on shows or, you know, going anywhere, the fact that the team is doing research on me, you know, the fact about that, just that, I feel sorry, you know, like I feel like, oh shit, I should have made how they support me into something solid. I don't know if you guys know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
No, I get it.
No, I hate
Yeah.
how much I like you, but whatever.
You don't know, understand?
No,
Well, I
understand.
think what you're saying
The
is
fact that they're
perfect
like
and
researching
awesome.
on you means they
Sure.
don't know shit. You get me? About you, which means I'm not that there yet. So that's why I need to be better.
Is that the goal though? You know what I mean?
It's just proves that you're not good enough, man. That's it, you know? And that's fact. Take it. You know?
That's where I'm going to respectfully and humbly be like, and challenge you and be like, that's what makes you, I think, one of a kind. I think that 99 out of 100 times, if I were to sit across the room and somebody who's sitting in his chair and we're having a conversation and they had any inkling to express why they weren't good enough, I'd be like, you're an idiot. You're good enough in so many ways. Your mom loves you, blah, blah, blah. But I also think that's a little bit cliche and stupid for somebody of your nature and of your caliber. Yet still important to acknowledge and bring to the table. I hope, and as a jealous, or not jealous, sorry, as a fanatic of Jackson Wang, I hope that you always, for the rest of your life, feel that you are never good enough, so that you always continue to service me. I hope that.
So I can continue what?
To service me. So I continue to be like, you're not good enough. Give me a better album. Give me a better music video. Give me a better song.
Of course.
Give me better clothes. Give me a better event. Give me better fucking love. I do selfishly hope that, and yet none of that would even be remotely true on the relationship and the content and the expression that you have for the people that are followers of you. You know what I mean?
Right.
What am I trying to say? Why am I sucking your dick so much?
No,
There are so much shittier artists out there that like your work ethic alone makes it sound like, all right, we need to stop talking about how you're sorry and blah blah blah. We need to get on the boat of inspiration because of what you have. All right. What are some of the things, the challenge we run into as KINJAZ? We live in America. We run into the problem and the conflicts and the struggles of Asian representation in entertainment. And we haven't even once in this podcast right now brought up the fact that you are a threshold in that conversation. You have broken the Billboard Top 100s as one of the only Asian artists in the last like fucking 30 years. Full Asian. I'm not talking about the awesomeness of Bruno Mars. None of that half Asian shit.
Please cut me out.
I'm just
Make sure I'm not in the frame.
I'm just saying.
For that
From
speech.
a full
just-
Asian, I had to keep it real.
Yeah.
From a
Just kidding.
full
Yeah, yeah.
Asian perspective,
But I
we haven't
understand.
even talked about that once on this podcast yet. Like your representation and what you do for any young aspiring, not even just male, but Asian representative entertainer, singer, dancer, songwriter, producer, clothing designer, business entrepreneur, whatever the fuck that you do that's awesome as fuck, which is everything. We don't have a lot of those examples in America, and I'm speaking from an American perspective as well. Asian American, we don't even have that frequent in our examples out here, and you've been able to come across the major pond and break the industry examples. You've been on Kiss FM interviews and Power 106. You've been on
that stuff's big for us because like
Huge.
you said, we don't see that, and that crossover from Asia to America, I don't know why that's so big with us. I think it's because it's rare.
You're doing
You know?
like late night talk shows and shit. You know what I'm saying? You're coming out here and you're doing Coachella. You're doing Coachella as Jackson Wang.
Rock
You know what I'm saying? Like
Coachella. Yeah.
This is on some next level, legendary, one of a kind. Nobody's ever done it before. Phenomenal, first of its type shit. And I think it's hard to talk about it or sit in it or see because it's the first of its kind. I think it'd be super easy 20 years from now for like a history class on like Asian representation in the Americas in the 20th century or whatever the fuck to do some research because they've got analysis. They've got like study cases on it. But we're living in the now. You are the one of the fucking... Give me one more example. I dare you. You know,
A lot.
shining
Honestly,
example.
a lot. Honestly, a lot. It's just like it depends on what field that you're touching.
Okay,
you know,
well,
you
my
get me?
point is you're one of
Right.
the few that is doing something for the Asian culture, especially in America, that I don't even think people have understood the magnitude and the maturity of yet because we haven't lived through the cycle of case study and analysis yet. And I think that's why we're humbled
Yeah.
to have you on our pod. That's why our relationship with you has maybe been organic since 2016, because maybe we were always subconsciously trying to accomplish similar goals, regardless of which nation we were representing at the time. And that's and to this day still, you know, regardless of what you do, whether it's an experiment on your artistry or something that you're absolutely campaigning in your ambition, I know for a fact 1000% KINJAZ will always be behind and support. You know what I mean? And I don't know, it's just it's almost our manifest destiny to be a part of whatever it is that you're also accomplishing. And that's why I think that I'm using this time on the pod to publicly admit my love and admiration for you, and how we'll always be a part of your story in honor and in humility, but we'll always support you in absolute reverence and aggression.
Thanks, man.
You know what I mean? Like, I will go to fucking bat for you until the end of time to let people know how impactful you have been and currently are to our culture, our people, and the messaging of this time frame. And I think it's important, because I don't think a lot of people will say that in the same bluntness that I would to you. But I also think that, like, maybe I've only barely earned the ability after 6 years of dedicating, you know what I mean, my relationship to and love to who you are as a person.
Thanks, man.
And I've said that to you drunk before, but we've never gotten a chance to say that in public. And I think it was so important to be able to share that, because you have inspired and impacted KINJAZ more than you know. More than you know.
It's real. It's real.
Was I really? No way.
You know, when we did have the complex, I personally, you know, have been there, you know, fairly late at night, and then I would leave, and then, you know, Anthony and Ving would be like, yeah, we still got to work. And I'm like, it's like midnight. So yeah, we got like a session with Jackson at like 3 a.m. because, you know, you're on China time.
Oh, right.
And, you know, I'm like, you guys are rehearsing with Jackson like via FaceTime, Zoom, and, you know, so it's one of those like, okay, I see your work ethic. You're like, I'm going to figure out one way or another to get what I need to get done artistically. And then on these guys' side, you know, to, you know, direct, you know, your movement. I'm like, man, there is something really special here that's beyond just the job.
I remember.
You know?
Like, yeah.
Yeah, this is during like peak pandemic time, you know, so it's not like they can fly over to China, which is what normally would have happened. But
this was during Street Dance of China.
Street Dance of China. Yeah. I was in a hotel for quarantine, and then
that's right.
Right, and then I had to learn like 3 choreo in 2 weeks, which is fine. But my mirror at that time was half.
It was like a dressing mirror.
Right, it was a dressing mirror.
Yeah.
You know, it was like a half a door.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to literally like, you know, see my move. Like I can't see any of my movement besides like a part of me.
Right.
You know, so. But you know what? What are you gonna do? You just gotta.
And let me give you the inside scoop on half these rehearsals. Okay.
And then the Wi-Fi was really bad.
Wow. Yeah.
Right.
Let me give you the inside scoop though.
Right.
Let's say it's like a 3-hour rehearsal. Maybe the first hour we're giving him moves and like, you know, like trying to actually get up and dance and be like, try doing like this. The next 2 hours, even if we want to dance and get up and show him what maybe he's doing wrong or whatever, he's like, no, sit down. Let me show you. I swear to God, there's like 2 hours of every 3-hour rehearsal where we're sitting down and he's just running it 100 times in a row, telling us to sit down. He literally won't even let us dance. He'll be like, sit down, no, sit down and watch, so that we can just like rip him apart and analyze him. And again, this is on some like, again, first time shit. I'm like, this guy's crazy.
No, because I want you to have a better view. When you're dancing with me, you know what? When you're dancing with me, you tend to look at yourself.
It's typical of, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean, in the training, because it's not just looking at yourself. It's also trying in your mind thinking that you're providing an example, but that's not necessarily how you work at your capacity. You are intense, bro. Has anybody ever tell you you're intense? You're fucking intense, bro.
You know, you said I had a big tank.
You have the biggest tank. I know.
Yeah.
But the point is, like, really, it's like you're sitting down for like 2 hours and he's just like, watch me again. No, don't stand up. Watch me again. What can I do wrong? What can I do better? Okay, cool. I'm gonna try that. Just sit down. No. Don't show me these. Just watch me again. It's like 2 hours of this. So it's really, it's both intense and profound at the same time. But that's what I'm saying. That's the uniqueness of what it is that makes Jackson what he is. You know what I mean?
Not many people invite like extra criticism. You're right.
That's a beautiful way to put it. That's what he does.
Because I feel like to your instructor, your teacher, your mentor, your family, you need people who's working with you on projects or whatever you do to tell you the truth, or else it's hurting you. Like that, it's, we're not gonna be anywhere if it's always like complimenting. We have to find out what's wrong with it so that it becomes the least, the most perfect product to our extent.
Yeah.
Man, I already know we can do this for like 8 more hours, but I know we have to wrap it up soon. So let's start closing it up. Let's start jumping into some quick and fun questions.
Well, before we get there, we're almost there. Just like out of all this, like we're talking about on some elite level mentality, ability to perform and execute, and it could seem very just like, wow, you're just on another category of a person, but you are a person. We're getting the human side of you a lot. I mean, this conversation has been everywhere and so fun, but I also am always curious about the way that people self-care, like when they shut off. I mean, I think, we talk about you have the biggest tank, right? But at some point, you have to shut off. And you have to be like, you know what? Okay, I'm done working for at least whatever this pocket of time is. What does that look like for you in terms of how you self-care? How do you mentally unwind? How do you sort of just like, okay, I'm done. And then until I start up again, what do you do?
I don't. And I feel
I'll swear to God, I'll sit here cracking up by myself while you're saying it, because in my mind I was like, this motherfucker do not do that. Like,
because I think it's another thing, like the way how I feel to all this life, is I'm doing what I love, and that's not. I don't think it's work. That's it. So, I mean, the only time is probably like sleeping. Taking a shower.
How much do you sleep?
I mean, from time to time is different, but back in the days for 7 to 8 years, probably like average like 4 to 5 hours a day, 3 to 4 sometimes.
Wow.
Like, but now like it's different. Like I have different schedules, so
yeah.
And I think it's not work. It's what I love. That's why I'm thinking about this like 24/7 every day, and I love it. I don't think it's, I don't think it's a mission for me to it's not homework, and or
it's not a mission. No,
besides that, maybe
not
drink.
30 mil. No, it's not a mission.
Besides that, I drink. I drink by myself. I drink with friends. And honestly, like even this is not work. It's really not work. Nothing is like performing is not work.
That's what's up, bro. That's so dope. Well, with that, how do you define success?
Everyone's standard is different. For me, is my dream is to be somebody that I can actually connect East and the West even more. Like I understand that it's already very like well connected, but there are a lot of stuff that we East don't know, East and the West don't know about each other. There's still like, it's like an onion. There's still like layers.
Totally.
It's definitely not as connected as idealism would allow.
You get me? Absolutely. So to me, it's not a forced thing, but maybe through my output, whether it's like through music, fashion, entertainment, how can it could be minor stuff like, like food, or even like the culture, Asians, like in everything that happens in the East. I wish I could, contribute and speak for our people. and be somebody that, you know, in the future, if I can, I'll try my best to open up the gate in some way, in some, you know, to open up the gate for them to be inspired, or to crash, to go fulfill their dream. And if I can't, I would, even though not, you know, I wouldn't be I cannot be an artist, you know. Maybe if I can't do that as an artist, I would do my best to help the next generation, or the next generation, to do whatever I can to help them to do that.
That's dope. That's dope, man. Well, dude, we want to get you out of here. We know you got a rehearsal to get to, but we always end each episode with a quick little lightning round where we're gonna just fire off some questions at you.
We've been talking about questions for like 3
I know, but
hours,
we gotta
man.
come quicker this time. This is like we can't
hesitate.
Yeah, we can't
Yeah,
go into
just whatever's at the top of your mind. You got
top of the mind. Top of the mind. Here
All
we
right,
go.
okay. First one. Why didn't you invite me to your birthday party? 1, 2, 3.
Lightning
Aha!
round,
See,
go.
not lightning, man.
I just honestly didn't think you show up.
Wow, it's honest. It's honest.
Right.
All right, your turn. What is your favorite snack?
I got you.
Oh
real
shit.
I kind of forgot. I'm
My
not gonna lie.
favorite. I don't eat snack.
never-
You don't
in
eat snacks. What's
America.
your favorite food?
My favorite food, dim sum.
Dim sum.
Yeah, Chinese
Okay.
food is my
Yeah, that's good.
What is your favorite movie?
rush hour.
Woohoo!
Rush
and
Hour 1, 2, like
Every
all of them?
rush hour,
the whole
and
series.
right, whole series, and also like the Chinese movie, Internal Affair.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Internal Affairs
Yeah.
is so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, watch it like 100 times.
Oh my
Like,
god,
I love that. Love that.
Least favorite American celebrity?
I don't have one. Oh, least favorite American celebrity,
Yeah.
Anthony.
I'm gonna let that breathe for a second.
I don't. Maybe I feel complimented.
Dude, you're an American celebrity, bro.
Yeah, it was something about it doesn't feel
It
so
feels good.
great. All right, yeah, I'll take it.
Do you have any phobias?
Like something that I
Yeah, something that you
Are
just like, I'm
afraid of
terrified
something
of
random
this.
thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
bugs,
Bugs.
and like spicy food because I'm allergic.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Who's your childhood hero?
Oh, a lot. My parents, Jackie Chan, Yao Ming, and a lot. Jet Li, Donnie Yang, too
All
much.
the martial artists.
Jay Chow,
Jay Chow.
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All hitters, man.
Yeah.
They are all
Best
hitters.
rapper of all time.
Oh shit! I'm not a rapper, so
Except you rapped some
right.
songs.
But
for
I
sure.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
Listening to it. I would say, I know, to me personally, Kendrick Lamar, or like J. Cole.
Fucking. Oh, J. Cole's so good.
Oh, one more. Can I do? God.
His name is God.
No. You have
God
to
is
listen to him.
probably the best rapper.
Corday.
Oh,
Corday. Yeah.
Yo, he
yeah.
really
Oh,
good.
you're a Corday fan.
Yeah, I am.
All right. Out of your entire discography, all the songs you've ever created, what was your least favorite?
Least favorite.
Yeah.
Everything before 100 Ways.
Everything before
That
100
was
Ways?
very recent.
Even Titanic? You know we made Titanic?
100 Ways was before Titanic.
100 Ways was after Titanic.
Exact. 100 Ways. Oh, it was.
So yeah, I hated Titanic. That was
It
garbage.
was shit. I don't know. Like, okay, maybe I don't know. Like, honestly, to me right now, everything besides Magic Man album.
Love it. I love it. Okay, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Most memorable performance.
Coachella.
Ooh.
I literally went up there to, in my mind, in my headspace, I was like, I can die. I can die after this. Like, but this is my last performance. I just have to do it like there's no tomorrow. Like there's no, as soon as I finish, I can die.
Wow.
Right.
Hey, I felt the energy. That moment where you like ripped off your shirt, you walked over, we were on the side of the stage, and we all just screamed at each other while I was on the cell phone and shit like that. It's on our TikTok, by the way. But all I'm saying, out of all the years, I remember saying this to you after the event too, and I was congratulating you because I know that like those things happen so fucking fast, and you never really can like hold on to like the minute moments. But like I remember whispering to you and being like, "Yo, dude, like for whatever it's worth, considering everything that we've been through, everything you've been through, all the ambition that you ever had with what you want to do with not only your music but your influence." I remember being like, "Congratulations."
Right.
Like,
You know what?
you came out to Coachella and you just ripped it.
That was, you know, what's the best feeling? Like after that, you have all the people that supports me telling me that, hey, I'm proud of you. You know, that shit hits different.
I remember that shit. And I remember
No.
not feeling like, you know, sometimes when you, it's weird to say that word, right? Pride, like the idea of it. Like sometimes when you're like, oh, I'm proud of you. At the same time, you almost feel this like oxymoronic, like, who am I to have pride in one's, you know, pluses or you know, just like life wins and stuff like that. But there was something to knowing Jackson's history and where you come from with your music and your goals and your ambitions at that time, 6 years before you would make it to one of America's and the world's most prestigious musical stages, i.e. Coachella. And just to see you not just participate, but to...
Bro, you shined, bro.
You fucked it up,
Yeah.
bro. You know what I mean? Like... maybe we're biased, but at the same time, I don't think we're stupid. So I think if we're gonna say it, we mean it. You know what I mean? Like
Thank you, man.
And honestly, again, more than Jackson, like for like straight up like Asians, man, that shit fucking fucked the game up. It was amazing.
Straight up.
I felt like, honestly, I felt like I wanted to speak. Not like I wanted to. In my headspace, I was like, I want to kill for me at the same time, you know, for Chinese, for Asians, like for the East, you know.
Yeah,
that was in my.
We had that same feeling weekend too.
Right.
So you know, when you maybe make it to the squad, you know, we'll maybe perform as Coachella, you know, sometime in the future.
Hey.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But you know how it is. You got to be back row, corner pocket formation, pay your dues type stuff. Not a big deal. It's just
We're doing this like 3 hours, and then you're telling me maybe. And you didn't invite me to your birthday party, and you telling me you're wrapping up the show with maybe, bro.
How else are you gonna care about KINJAZ, man? You can't be easy, bro.
It should be called Kin Jackson.
Jackson
That
Wang,
is
dude.
both
Jackson
clever.
Wang.
I do like him. Not gonna lie.
Kin
I
Jack.
do like it, but outside of me
Kin
liking
Jack.
it, Jesus.
Kin Jackson Bang.
Least favorite show that KINJAZ ever worked on with you.
Least favorite?
Yeah, least favorite number. From Hot Blood to the Drive series to Street Dance to China, Titanic 100 Ways, Coachella.
But
all of
you
it.
you see what the funny thing is? Like, of course, you know, KINJAZ will build out this structure, like the skeleton. You call it like,
Sure.
you know,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
structure,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Skeleton. But I always like come in and negotiate.
Yeah,
to
you change it
a lot
because
of like everything.
I understand
You
how
get
you
me?
don't like and
Like
respect us.
like
Yeah, I
tweak
get that.
a lot of tweaks, like based to that, so that it's suitable for me. You know. Yeah, but like I don't have
I'm kidding,
least,
man. I'm kidding. That's why we love you,
It's
bro.
a great answer. It's a
Right.
great answer.
Always.
What is your proudest moment?
proudest moment. I think how people reacted, how some of the people reacted after my performance in Coachella. I felt like they're like, who this Asian guy, you know? And I felt like, oh, like it was I enjoyed it. I feel like me as we are seen in some way. Maybe it's not like a big thing, but like it's like a sparkle, you know. I felt that moment, and I'm so happy.
You're such a hero to so many
Yeah.
people, bro. Let's get more personal. Let's get more micro. You plan on getting married, having children anytime?
I wish, man. Like, but I feel like I want to get married, but at the same time, it's not like I want to get married, I'll get married, you know. It's I gotta be responsible, you know. But my lifestyle right now is just not it.
What do you mean?
Right.
Most people who are like, I gotta be responsible, are usually like, I gotta be able to provide for like her parents or like, you know, future children. I'm not gonna lie, man. You probably can provide for a few generations.
But I understand providing, but it's like being in that moment.
Being present.
I can't always
Your
travel.
time and your attention.
I can't always travel and
Yeah.
this and this. Yeah, it's come on, man. It's
Well,
not.
how you expect to find somebody if you're like constantly like trying to fulfill that, like, you know?
Honestly speaking, I wish I mean, I don't know. I want. This is the thing. I feel like not right now for marriage, but at the same time, I want to, because me personally, I want to see my kids longer.
That's what I'm
You
saying.
know what I mean? I don't want to like. I want to be their best friends.
Yeah.
You know, not like having a, you know, and when they're 20, I'm like 80. You know.
So
I
heard
know
it
there are
here.
different cases like that, but
You heard it here first on the
Right.
KINJAZ podcast. After this next album that Jackson's putting out, he's taking a huge break. He's trying to find the love of his life. He's gonna knock out some kids. You know what I mean? So if
what do you mean by
you're
knock
already-
out some kids, bro?
Huh?
How would kids be knocked out, bro?
Yeah, that sounds a little bit abusive.
Yeah.
No, you didn't mean it that way.
Why so aggressive, brother?
Yeah. So you
We're
beat
not
him
knocking-
out. You
we're
beat
not
him out of the
knocking out-
body.
Don't knock
Okay.
off kids.
It's
bro.
called. It's knocked up. It's a figure of
Right.
speech. Welcome to
That's also
America.
true.
He's still learning the culture.
I know. I understand. I'm fucking
The
with you,
English
man.
language is tricky. It's tricky. We have some weird words that mean.
I know. I'm kidding.
Many
I
things.
get it.
We're gonna put. I'm gonna create a fake Jackson Wang profile on like Tinder. Honey meets bagel or whatever. Wouldn't that be crazy? Coffee meets bagel.
Yeah.
Grinder. Put Jackson Wang on Grinder as my personal account.
No, you should put this
Grindr?
podcast profile picture to me for that day, for this
Okay.
interview.
Dude, there's gonna be 1 billion people who are trying to come
No
out.
way. And then you find
Then
out
you-
you're so disappointed.
All
like
of his
nobody
names
cares.
are gonna be like Michael, Samuel, Daniel.
You find out, and then when it's aired, you find out like nobody cares. And you're like, Jackson, come on, man.
I hate how much I love you, man. I hate how successful and awesome you are, and at the end of the day, you're just like a fucking one of the boys, man. You're too cool, too cool. But that is it, man. You know,
No more questions.
This. Well, because you have to go to rehearsal.
Yeah, we
clearly,
don't
and
wanna
we're gonna
keep
be
you
in
from
we're
work.
gonna be in trouble if you
Oh,
didn't make the rehearsal on time.
I'm shooting.
But
So
that's
rehearsal. For
But that's nearly concluding part 1 of our 2-part series with Jackson.
Yeah.
AK, whenever you fly back to LA in X amount of
no.
years.
You know what? You should move this chair here. We have another chair here, and this is where the guest will sit from the next episode.
I will
And
literally-
you want
like
a
us
co-host.
three, like co-host.
I will fire
new
myself and have you
co-host.
here
Fire.
if that meant you were the host of KINJAZ Podcast Season 3. You know, the shitty part is the fans would be down for that.
That's actually
Fire
true.
Ant. Let's put Jackson in there.
I
Jackson
would want
Wee.
to do that. I'm going to rehearsal for Cruel, the music video. Cruel is a song in my album that's coming out in July.
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
Cruel. Yeah.
All right.
July's
well,
next month. Really? The album's coming out next month?
No. The Cruel, a single.
Oh, just
The single is coming
I
out
don't
next,
know what I'm
like
talking
July.
in July. Okay.
Yeah, it's,
we can adjust the dates of when this thing gets
I don't
dropped.
know.
And the
We'll figure that out.
music video, it's like co-directed by me and the KINJAZ and Rich.
All right. Well, we always like to end our episode with tapping into one specific idea, the idea of mastery, the concept of being able to hone in so much intense focus that you feel like you've been able to understand this thing to a masterful level. Bruce Lee once says, "I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times." So the amount of focus, hours, energy, blood, sweat, and tears poured into a single thing doesn't necessarily have to be moving mountains, but just something that you feel like, yeah, I've done that so much where I feel like I'm actually a master of that skill. What is something that you feel like you've mastered in your life?
I wouldn't say master, but I think I'm confident in the sense of seeing a body of work, body of art, combining and to its ultimate form. I have that sense to know what's lacking and what should be this and should be that.
I understand what you mean. I totally hear it. Jackson has always, whether he knew how to describe it or not in the moment. I remember there were times where we would choreograph a number for Jackson, and then you look at it and it's like, "What do you think? What do you think?" He'd be like, "I think it's really good." but like, what's the moment? And
What's the gimmick? What's the gimmick?
Yeah, no, I like the word moment more than gimmick, because you rarely use gimmick. You use the word moment, and moment, I think transcends more than
learned
gimmick.
More
to
vocabularies. Can you just give me opportunities?
I thought I was putting you up, but let me take you back down. Yeah, he said gimmick because it's way more superficial.
Right.
No, but he had this ability to look at something broadly, and it's not as basic as like it's not enough. He would be able to communicate it in a way that's like, hey, this section right here, if it doesn't have this thing, then the whole ride won't make sense. Or like, if it doesn't do this thing, then what's the purpose? It's dope art, but it's not going to beat out this moment, which is what we're aiming for. And he had that, maybe he didn't articulate it like that. Maybe it would always be like, what's the moment? And you had to read between the lines because I love you like that. But the point is, he had an eye, and what I'm talking about. Sometimes people don't have an eye, but Jackson's eye wasn't just artistry; it was a whole picture. It was like the moment in time, the storytelling, the narrative, the people in the audience, the type of audience who was even participating or paying attention to this moment, the atmosphere of politics in the moment, the atmosphere of the relationships and the tensions between this musical. He had an ability to take every facet of the moment and the production and judge it collectively as one unibody whole, and then make a informed decision about like, I think we maybe need some of this, and that is fucking magic. That's the sauce.
I'm magic man.
You're the magic man. That's the sauce.
Man.
No, but the thing is, like, I have that. I think I'm confident in that, having that sense, and also balancing it. Like maybe a lot of other, I don't know, a lot of people might want like, oh, I want gimmick from the beginning till the end. Like it could be movie, it could be a choreo, it could be a show, it could be like, different industry, but they always sometimes have that mentality of, I want just bomb, 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 bomb. Like gimmick, the moment throughout the whole piece. But what I think they don't understand is, if you have that, then there's no more gimmick. There's no more moment.
Yeah, Jackson only wants it from the middle to the end.
No, sometimes, it depends, bro. Why are you laughing like that?
But you're talking about like what are people gonna be able to take home, right? What is the thing that like, ooh, I'm gonna take this one home with me? That's the thing that like,
and no, that's the thing. Everybody wants that, but the difference is, not everybody knows how to see it, and that's what I'm trying to give credit to Jackson on right now. Especially when we're talking about mastery and stuff like that. Like, Jackson knows entertainment and the communication with people in the audience so well, and has mastered some element of that there are times where he can look at his own expression and criticize it because of his mastery of the relevance of the communication aspect of what he's creating. It's not enough to create a good song. It's important to create a song that people will like, and that's what makes it good, not just the fact that it is good on your own like spectrum. And Jackson has this like inherent ability to see what people will feel, and I think that's what I really love about his
love you, man.
I forgot you were here. I was just saying.
I thought we were just
I thought we were back in the ad. This is a commercial ad. No, man, I'll suck at your dick all day, man. Jackson, I love you. You know that, dude.
Thanks,
like, this is
brother.
the only reason why
Really,
we've been
really
through thick and thin for years,
But we should have, like, before I leave on the 22nd, sorry. I leave on the 22nd. If you guys are down.
I have another birthday coming up, yeah.
No, let's not talk about that anymore. Like, I'm saying, like, if we're about to, like, if you guys are okay, then I wish, we have another session where we just talk about, like, personal lives, about, Coco, about, like, Sino Stage, about, like, the complex, about, like, what about you, man? Like, your family, like, what's up? Like, stuff like that,
Like I said, dude, this is part one of a 2-part episode. So if you now because I said it on the podcast online, now you're verbally committed.
You're now held accountable to your own words.
Coming back to the fans who are here because of you.
Let's have like 2 takes. Like 2 takes. One take is like, let's get back, and one take is like, what if this episode is out and everyone's like, fuck this guy, like, so you know what I mean? Like, so let's try to
I was just
Let-
yeah,
let's-
dude. You
take
already
two.
know.
Take two.
Take two.
I love it. You know, maybe in the near future I'll be back again. Like maybe after, because
in the
you know
near future.
because you know they might not welcome. Yeah. So, but I'm so blessed that I'm here, and I wish. Watch out for stay tuned for my new album before October. Magic Man.
I'm loving this right now. Yo, Jackson, I have to say, bro, I don't even know like how to close this thing other than, dude. I mean, you know, we have conversations. I'm not. The cameras are off, bro. We're not even rolling.
How do you close it? Just turn
No,
off the camera.
I'm closing it by just giving you my
Yes.
honest thoughts here. Bro, you are obviously you're an incredible artist. You've done so many things. We don't need to run down your resume. Everybody knows. You're putting it down for Asians. And yeah, you talk about, you know, rocking the Coachella stage and what that is and how powerful and impactful that is. You have this album that meant so much to you that you barely scratched the surface on, doing so many things on a project level that the world will throw all the accolades and praise at you, yet you don't want to talk about that. And you, even when we were off, not even rolling, we're like, yo, I want to talk about you guys. I want to talk about like how I like got down with you guys and on the dance tip, and you're like just deflecting, like, yo, let's just talk about like other stuff. And I don't think that is a thing where you're not at all ashamed of what you're doing. Of course not, but you are very much aware of like, man, I want to focus on what I in the moment feel like is important to me. Not to say that you're not thoughtful in future and all that stuff, because you are. We even talked about so much of that in this conversation, but just the way that you are very aware of your present state and your focuses. And I feel like there's like this unbreakable thing that you have. Not to say that you are a machine or you can't, you know, be human.
I'm nobody. I wish I can have one day I can proudly say to you guys, like, hey, I think I'm happy. Like I'm happy. Like I think I did it. Like a bomb. I wish I have that moment in my life before I die.
I want to say I think you're doing it, and I think you're going to continue to do it. And just what Anthony was talking about is like, yeah, he doesn't shut off. He's never satisfied. And I get that from you, but I want to acknowledge in you that like, bro, you're doing it every single day. And I think, you know, I can't wait for this conversation to get out there, because I would love to hear how this hits people. It's hitting me in all kinds of ways. So I just want to say, man, just want to acknowledge, bro, like you call us fam, you know what I'm saying? And we want to extend that.
I'm here for the brothers, man. I'm here for the fam.
And dude, we just are thankful that you came to just sit, chat, have a drink, and hang out with us and share your story, bro.
I remember when we were working on HBDC back in the day, and I had to fly to Korea on your birthday. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, we were doing
Yeah,
like
I
shit.
had to
Like,
fly
what
to
is it?
Korea on your birthday. Yeah, everybody in the podcast can see your moves right now.
What the fuck was it?
I flew to Korea on your birthday to do a rehearsal because you couldn't make the schedule in between. And I'm guessing you had a birthday party and you didn't invite me to it.
I had no.
And I just wanted to just throw that out
First
there.
of all,
I haven't been thinking about it. I've been holding on to that. I just want to
I'm gonna let you finish
here before. All right, I'm done. I'm finished. It's over.
Officially, let me make this
I'm not that
an
finished.
official
I just have a couple more
announcement.
things to say.
An official
All right, fine,
announcement.
Go ahead, I'm finished.
Official announcement. I didn't have a birthday party.
Yep. Okay. Well, it's not a big deal.
It was my birthday, but then
Nobody said anything. I'm not even.
the only thing
I
I would do on my birthday, honestly, I would love to have a party, but like if I can't, I can't. Call my mom, call my parents. Mom, thank you for giving me this.
I'm gonna call your mom after this.
Yeah, please don't. Please don't.
Folks, thank you guys so much for joining us on the KINJAZ podcast. It's
Yeah,
a
we don't
very
have to
special
close.
episode.
Just turn off the camera, man. That's
don't-
close.
No.
I mean, we gotta let him shout out. Like, dude, like, okay, you got an
Okay,
album
do the
coming
thing.
out.
Do the
Dude, like, what can people expect, man? What's next? How can people follow the journey? We didn't really talk about much about you today.
It's
so.
okay. Magic Man 2022. And honestly, I really want to say, I wanted to say this, like, for dancing. I don't know, like, if I can say I'm a dancer, but I love dancing, you know, but I hope, you know, there are like the youngsters out there, they're super talented and stuff, but sometimes you guys, you know, like, you guys might be lost. And I just want to say that, you know, I experienced it in some way, that I just want to share that it's okay to say that. Sometimes it's okay to say that you're lost, you know. It's okay to and ask a lot of questions to your instructors and you know, like the legends here. So it's okay to ask, and it's okay to share to people, talk to people, like, to help you, because I think the communication is so important that it'll inspire you in some way. And it's okay to say that you're not okay, you know. And that's it. And just turn off the camera. just turn off the camera, man.
What's up, bro? You got an IG or what? I mean, I don't know, like, this is
it's okay. I'm not here. I don't want to do this like PR shit, like where, hey, follow my IG, follow my TikTok. None of that shit. It's just here. It's okay.
All right, you know what?
Right.
Don't do that. Just do that
Right.
instead of your IG. Say things like at KINJAZ or whatever. Because,
Yeah, you
know,
can do that.
like
That works too.
why else are you here?
Like,
man?
say, like Anthony KINJAZ and the KINJAZ IG shit, like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. You know, now you know who are the real friends.
Thank you, everybody, so much for tuning into this amazing and special
how they did
episode.
me?
We finally have our
See
brother. We've been asking Jackson to get on the podcast for years. He's rejected us. Him and his
Uh-huh.
manager rejected us for years.
거짓말을 계속하네.
Hey, don't be bad. Hey,
근데 거짓말 진짜说谎.
We're an inclusive podcast show.
说谎. This is 说谎, dude.
Don't.
说谎means like
Soho
lying.
House?
You lying.
Am I lying?
Lying.
Hey, I'm not lying. I'm a tiger. You're the tiger. Okay.
Oh, but
we
I'm
love
lying. I'm
we
lying.
love Jackson. Everybody knows where to follow him and all that stuff. He's got an album coming out, I think maybe in September. Stop walking. Just sit down, man.
Outta here.
He's got an awesome album coming out. Magic Man out. Did you just turn off the light? You just
Bye, guys.
give him the outro, man.
I think that's it. I don't know, guys. If you guys are still listening, it's dark in the room.
It's done.
We're
It's
still
over.
rolling, I
It's
think.
over.
If you're following
Leave
us on the
leave us a
podcast,
5-star rating.
leave us a rating and a review of how much you love this episode with Jackson. Leave us a 5-star rating. Follow us on all the socials. KINJAZ Podcast, cast with the K. Twitter, IG. Guys, we're having fun. We're sipping lattes and other things. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time. We love y'all.
This is part 1 of 2. We Jackson better come back, otherwise he's gonna leave all of our fans just wanting more.
Jackson Wang.
Love you. KINJAZ Bang.
Bye.
KINJAZ Bang.